these 4 letters, ASAP. These 4 letters can create so much challenge that we don't necessarily always realize it. As a matter of fact, I had this occur to me very, very early in my career. I was tapped to put together a presentation deck for a senior level audience. I was extremely excited. I felt honored to be able to do this. My manager asked me if I would put this together because he said I've got a little bit of flair with PowerPoint. So I said, great. And we started to talk a little bit about what the scope was and what he wanted. And then at the end of the conversation, I asked him, when do you need this by? And his response, oh, no hurry, ASAP. I said, great. I'm thinking to myself, I've got plenty of time on this. As a matter of fact, I had a few other projects that I just wanted to kind of get off my plate so I could dedicate the time and the effort to this one solely. Well, a couple of days later, my manager ends up coming by my desk. He says, hey, Joe, I just wanted to check in. How's that going? I said, oh, it's going well. I've already started to think through what I want to do, and I've started to sketch out some ideas. I said, I've got a couple of other things that I'm actually trying to get off my plate right now so I can dedicate the time and the effort and the focus to this, if that's okay. He said, yeah, absolutely. I said, well, when do you need this by? He said, oh, whenever you can. ASAP would be great. So once again, I was reconfirmed. All right, great. I've got plenty of time on this. I'm looking forward to it. Well, the following week, I had finally been able to get a couple of those projects off my plate so I could dedicate the time. And at that point, my manager came by one more time and asked me, how's it going and where it's at? But this time I noticed his tone was a little different. I could tell there was a little bit of tension in his face. He seemed a little concerned. But I responded in a very enthusiastic manner. Oh, it's going well. As a matter of fact, I've already started to put together an agenda. I'm looking forward to really getting into this. At which point then he responded, so when do you think you're going to be able to get this to me? And I said, well, I'm hoping to have a rough draft by next week for you to look at. At which point, all of a sudden, I could see the alarm, the alert on his face. He said, oh, I was really hoping to be able to show some of this tomorrow in a meeting with senior leadership. And immediately, my heart sank. The last thing I wanted to do was disappoint my manager after he gave me this phenomenal opportunity. I said, I'll tell you what, I will work through the day on this. As a matter of fact, I will get you something, I promise, by tonight so that you can review it tomorrow. He did not intend to create that last-minute situation. I did not intend to create any sort of stress or tension in him as I took my time in delivering this. But unfortunately, you can see how this very simple misinterpretation, the way that we define this and work, can create some stress and some angst.